Today's recipe is a very tasty, super delicious caramel cake. So let's see how to make it. First, for the sponge cake, take a clean and dry bowl and crack in 4 room temperature eggs into it. To that, add in 1 teaspoon of vanilla essence and then start beating it using an electric beater. So after beating it for around 30 seconds, I've taken 1 cup of powdered sugar. So add it batch by batch. So make sure you add the powdered sugar and mix it so that it doesn't fly around and you get it perfectly. So you're supposed to beat the eggs until it becomes double, triple in size and pale and creamy in texture. So I've added the sugar completely. To get rid of the eggy smell, I've added half a teaspoon of honey and then beat it well. So our egg mixture is done. Now keep it aside. Now take a clean and a dry bowl and place a sieve on top of it. Now I've taken 1 cup of all-purpose flour. Along with it, 1 teaspoon of baking powder. You don't need baking soda in this recipe. And then a pinch of salt. And you can sift it 2 or 3 times, but I'm sifting it only once and then giving it a nice mix so that the baking powder is equally distributed. And now keep it aside. I've taken the egg mixture and just beating it for around 30 seconds. Here I'm adding a odorless and flavorless oil. I'm using sunflower oil, 1/3 cup of it. And then beat it well but in low speed. And then add the flour mixture around by 3 batches I've added. And then fold it using the cut and fold method using a spatula. And make sure you do it slowly. Otherwise our cake batter won't be fluffy and it won't rise well and it won't be spongy also. And add in 2 tablespoons of lukewarm milk. And then I've added the last batch of the flour. And our cake batter is almost ready. Just to give it a last touch, I've used a whisk so that everything is well combined, but just for 30 seconds or less than that. And make sure you do it slowly. And I've lined a 7-inch cake tin, which is 3 inches in height, with butter paper. So transfer the cake batter and bake it in a preheated oven. It took me around 45 minutes to get done, but it may take maybe 40 or maybe 35 also depending on your oven. So make sure you tap and just run the skewer so that the air bubbles are released. And now for making the caramel syrup, I've heated the and add half a cup of white granulated sugar and make sure you keep it in low flame and wait for it so that it eventually caramelizes and doesn't burn. So make sure it is in low flame, do not increase the flame. And now it's done, just mix it so that it doesn't burn. And I'm adding 3 tablespoons of unsalted butter. Since it's unsalted, I'm adding a pinch of salt. But if it's salted butter, you don't need to add a pinch of salt. And now mix it. So I have basically kept the flame very low so that it doesn't burn. And now I'm adding 1/4 cup of thick cream. You may use fresh cream. And then make sure that the flame is low and just mix it till you get the required consistency. And you should keep in mind that the caramel thickens as it cools down. So make sure that you do not cook it so much that it tends to be hardened once it's cool. And now I added some milk just to wash off the cream away in the measuring cup. And our caramel syrup is almost ready. Now you can see it started bubbling and it's done. Now for making the syrup, I have taken 1/3 cup of thick cream. So here I've used Puck brand's thick cream. You can use whipping cream or fresh cream, up to you. And then add in 3/4 cup of milk. And then add in 6 tablespoons of powdered sugar, or depending on your sweetness, you can reduce or add more. And then I have added 1/4 cup of additional milk. And then butterscotch essence, around 1/8 teaspoon of it, and then mix it and keep it aside. And now our sponge cake is ready. You can see it has turned out very spongy and so perfect. I'm transferring it to a cake tray. You can use any cake molds or anything just for setting up the cake, or else as such in a plate is also fine. This is easy as we are going to soak the cake, so poke the cake with the help of a skewer and then pour the entire milk syrup that you've made. Maybe it wouldn't soak initially, but just wait for 5 minutes and it will be soaked very well, and our cake will be more flavorful and more spongy and more tastier. So just wait for some time if it doesn't soak, and then pour the rest of the milk syrup. Once it's done, add the caramel syrup that we have prepared. So it's completely cooled down, and this is the consistency, the perfect consistency. So I've added on top of it, just like this. And then I've chopped up some almonds, so you can just garnish it with the almonds so that it gives a good crunch while you eat the cake, and it goes well with the caramel flavor. You can roast the almonds if you like. It would be much tastier. And our cake is done. So if you like this recipe, please do give it a like and share with your friends and family. And do tell me how did it turn out for you in the comment section below. So this is how the cake looks from inside. Very moist and very spongy. And you can add some extra caramel syrup while serving. Thank you for watching. Bye.